Hey guys, how you going? This is BillyEatWorld, and today we're going to compare the Star Wars Battlefront beta to Battlefield 4. With BF4 now almost 2 years old, many veterans are looking for something else to play, so the question is, could Battlefront be that game? That being said, I can't tell you how many times people have told me, hang on, Battlefront isn't meant to be the replacement for Battlefield 4. And sure, that's completely correct, but they are both large-scale shooters and Battlefront is made by DICE, so whether you like it or not, people are ultimately going to compare the two. Speaking of comparing the two, well, I actually made a video on this topic a few months back when the first gameplay trailer was released. For this reason, I already had a good idea what to expect before I got into the game, but to be honest, playing the beta firsthand has definitely changed my overall opinion. As a Star Wars fan, I completely love this game, and I definitely think as a remake it does the original games in the series justice. As a BF4 fan though, well, as much as I love the game, I'm still kind of left wanting more, and like BF Hardline, I'm wondering if the game has what it takes to survive in the long term. Now, when it comes to comparing the two games, I'm not going to get into the theme or the finer details, I'm just going to try and compare the core gameplay mechanics. Battlefield is a present-day military shooter and Star Wars is obviously set in the future, so I could sit here and talk all day about the differences just because of that fact. If you put the theme aside though, you can see that both games are an arcade-style shooter, and they both have large objective-based maps. In terms of the core gunplay though, well, this is where the similarities end, because overall you can tell straight away that Battlefront has been simplified for a casual audience. So what do I mean by this? Well, for a start, ammo has been replaced for all weapons with a cooldown mechanic, there's no weapon attachments, and there's no class system. And at this point you might be thinking, well, that suits the theme, right? Which is completely true, but regardless, it's a move to simplify the game that I think will impact its long-term life cycle. Also, some other core mechanics from BF4 like heavy recoil and bullet drop are missing from this game, which once again fits the theme but once again simplifies the gameplay. Bullet spread is also not a big problem, and as far as I can tell, ADS doesn't make much of a difference, so I'd probably even go as far as to say that the gunplay is more realistic in a game like COD. Now, in terms of customization, well, like I said before, Battlefront doesn't have a class system, instead giving players the ability to customize their character however they like. Special weapons like sniper rifles and grenade launchers can be equipped by all classes, sort of like gadgets, and you can find a range of pickup weapons and other power-ups around each map. In general, I'd say that in-game this system more or less works like weapons and gadgets do in BF4, but the notable exception is the cycle rifle, which is basically a gadget sniper rifle. The problem with this is that it deals a disgusting amount of damage, and as you'll see in this video, it's almost effortless to land a shot and then just finish the enemy off with a quick spray from your blaster. Speaking of primary weapons though, well, running with the theme of simplifying the game for a casual audience, the loadout system is almost non-existent compared to BF4 or even COD. Like I said, there's no weapon attachments, and you can't even use all the attachments that come stock on the weapons, like the bipod on the DLT-19. Even if there was 10 times more weapons in this game, there'd still be less guns than BF4, and without attachments, it kind of makes me feel like it's only going to take a week to unlock everything. The lack of playable content was one of the big reasons people moved on from BF Hardline, so I think if that game had to fight an uphill battle, then Battlefront is probably going to have an even harder time. Now, I think I've covered most of the negative differences, but there also is quite a few differences that are either positive or just don't really matter. For example, you spawn into vehicles from pickup tokens, which is a good thing because it means vehicles can't be destroyed in spawn, and people can't wait in the spawn screen for them to appear. Also, there's no prone mechanic in Battlefront, which is kind of good in a way because it prevents people from swan diving, but it's bad in that you can't use it to hide behind cover. There's also no spot button, which allows you to be a bit more stealthy, but that being said, the minimap is now more important because so far there's no suppressed weapons in this game. But finally, I don't think I can finish this video without making a comment about the party join system, which is a definite improvement from squad join in BF4. I'm not sure how it works on PC, but on PS4, if you're already in a party, it'll automatically try and put you all in the same server without having to set up a separate squad join party. One thing that I guess you could say is negative though, is that there isn't any in-game squads in Battlefront, which instead uses a partner system. You can spawn as normal on your partner, but you can't spawn on or easily see your other party members, which I think is going to make working as a team a lot harder. But anyway, to finish up, I think it's pretty obvious to see that Battlefront is a completely different game to BF4, even if it has the same developer and a lot of other similarities. I think we all kind of expected that would be the case from day one, but coming back to the original question, will it be a game that BF4 players can transition into? Well, in terms of just jumping in and playing a few rounds, it's definitely a game BF4 players won't have a problem with, but the real question is, how long will they keep playing for? Like I said, there just isn't as much customization in this game, and the gameplay is fairly simplistic, so I can't see it lasting for 2 years like BF4 has. All in all though, I think Battlefront really is a solid game, and I think it will bring a lot of new fans into the FPS genre, purely because it's a Star Wars game. For this reason, I think it's definitely going to be successful. I just don't think, like BF4, it's going to be looked back on as one of the most innovative FPS games of all time. It does the old games in the series justice, and in every way it is an improvement, but the problem is, after 10 years, the original Battlefront format is just no longer at the cutting edge of FPS gaming. So yeah, I've got my fingers crossed that it will survive, but part of me thinks this will just be a distraction, and the hardcore BF4 community will probably go back to waiting for BF5. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think of the Star Wars Battlefront beta in the comment section below. And as always, if you like what you see, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, check out the links in the description below if you want to see more of my videos, or if you want to support my channel on Patreon. And until next time, see you later, and have a good one.